Well, welcome back to our Writing 242 class, Technical Communication. We're continuing on in the next section where we're talking about drafting, designing, and revising. And the things that we're going to be focusing on for this lecture is creating and using graphics. And so this can be something that be hugely impactful, especially with the movement towards multimedia, different ways that you're presenting the information online, or other types of ways that you're going to be presenting that information. And so graphics can help to convey a lot of information in a short amount of space. So in this chapter, we will learn how to follow 4 guidelines for using graphics correctly. And so this is an art form, and so you want to be using it to our advantage. We want to display data with graphs, tables, and charts. And so each one of these has its utility. And so for a graph, it can maybe be capturing things, a picture of some sort, some action type of way of capturing this. Tables is a great way to have a lot of information in a short amount of space. And so in addition to charts, can also be showing trends and things like that. So you can use photographs and drawings to include in documents and presentations. You can use image icons and symbols in documents in ways that work across cultures. So all those are encouraging things that we can be leveraging. So what are guidelines for using graphics? We'll use 4 guidelines for using graphics effectively. And here they are. Number 1, a graphic should tell a simple story. And so you want to be planning ahead of how it's going to be used. A graphic should reinforce the written text, not replace it. And so you don't forget about doing it with the written narrative, but they act in concert together to help to enhance the story that you're sharing. The graphics should be ethical. Of course, that's always something that you want to be thinking about. And a graphic should be labeled and placed properly. How can you best showcase it within the amount of space that you have available, whether it be the way you render a page in an HTML document that would be viewed online, some type of brochure that you're having, a way that's going to be presented in an article or a book. And so let's talk about the types of graphs, tables, and charts that we can be using. And so here are different types of charts. Line graphs is a way that you show things as a trend. And so you have a line that connects the points, a bar chart, and we'll see various examples. And so you can be seeing under certain circumstances how things progress over time. The table is something that shows a lot of information in a annotated way, that you have columns and rows, and so you're expressing those things in that manner. A pie chart is just, you can be thinking of a pie, and so one segment has let's say roughly 25% of the pie. Another one can have different types of elements within that total pie. And then you talk about what is the relationship of each one of those. And finally, you can have a flow chart that can be showing things going from one point to another, that you graph boxes and show progression of different types of things that you're trying to capture. And ultimately, what happens is you get to an end state. So these are the type of graphics that you can be having in terms of charts. What about photos and drawings? Pictures and drawings add life to your document. It can help be so to help support ideas in the text. And so this is something that you definitely want to be thinking about. It can actually show that it's real, that you can be showing an action shot of whatever type of technical capability you have it being developed in the lab, operation in the field, people that are benefiting from the services and products that you could be utilizing. So here are the types of pictures. And so you could be photographs of pictures, objects, and places. So those are things that you can be having. Plus you can have illustrations of line diagrams, and drawings and icons and clip arts that all are trying to add to what you're trying to include. In terms of transcultural symbols, symbols often do not translate well because of different associations with colors, images, and icons in different cultures. And we briefly mentioned examples of how, like the color red is interpreted by different cultures. And this goes across the board for a variety of other things. So keep human icons simple. Use hand signals carefully because those don't always equate cross-culture. Avoid cross-culture specific icons. You want to be avoiding religious icons. And finally, avoid animal symbols and mascots because those could have some different views than what you had anticipated when you go cross-culturally. Okay, short chapter, but that's what we wanted to talk about in terms of using graphics. A very useful and important part of our way that we're going to communicate